Number 9. Launched in 1975, the Kamar was Rolls-Royce's bold attempt at crafting a luxury two-door saloon that stood apart from their stately sedans. It was also their first model designed entirely by an outside firm, namely, Italian styling house Pininfarina. That alone should have guaranteed head-turning beauty, right? Well, not exactly. The Kamar's styling was controversial, to say the least. With its sharp lines and slab-sided profile, the design was a dramatic departure from the flowing elegance of traditional rollers. Under the hood, the Kamar featured a 6.75-liter V8 engine, paired with a GM-sourced automatic transmission. It wasn't a sports car, but it wafted along with all the grace and torque-rich effortlessness you'd expect from a Rolls-Royce. Production ran from 1975 to 1986, but only 531 units were ever built. That makes the Kamar one of the rarest post-war Rolls-Royce models, a true unicorn for collectors. Number 8. Born out of Fiat's need to go rally racing in the big leagues, the 131 Rally Stradale was the homologation special built so Fiat could take the 131 to the World Rally Championship. Now, the regular Fiat 131 was your average family sedan, a no-nonsense rear-wheel drive box on wheels. But once Abarth and Bertone got their hands on it, the 131 turned into a fire-breathing rally monster. The Stradale version was the required street-legal twin, though it was hardly tame. Under its aluminum hood was a 2-liter DOHC inline-4 with twin Weber carburetors, pumping out about 140 horsepower, a healthy figure for a car that weighed under a ton. It also came with a 5-speed manual gearbox, independent rear suspension, fender flares, and fiberglass panels to keep weight down and rally spirit up. Fiat only made around 400 units, just enough to meet homologation rules. That makes it extremely rare today, and very desirable among collectors. Number 7. The Tirana LH SLR 5000 is one of Australia's greatest automotive legends, a muscle-bound missile built for Bathurst, dressed up as a 4-door family sedan. It was born during the golden age of Aussie touring car racing, when the rulebook said, "Race what you sell," and Holden was all too happy to oblige. Based on the mid-sized LH Tirana, the SLR 5000 L34 wasn't just a sportier trim. It was a homologation special, pure and simple. The standard SLR 5000 already featured a 5-liter V8, but the L34 package took things to the next level. Only 263 L34s were ever built, just enough to satisfy CAMS homologation requirements for Group C racing. These cars were essentially track-ready from the factory. Buyers got a street-legal V8 Brute that could storm the mountain at Bathurst without breaking a sweat. Number 6. Introduced in 1970, the Doveville was Alejandro de Tomaso's bold attempt to take on the likes of Jaguar, Mercedes-Benz, and Maserati in the luxury sedan world. And like everything de Tomaso did, it was just a little bit wild. At first glance, the Doveville looked like a refined European luxury sedan, and that was no accident. Its styling, penned by Tom Charda at Ghia, bore more than a passing resemblance to the Jaguar XJ6, but with a sharper, more muscular stance. Under the hood, though, was pure American muscle, a Ford-sourced 5.8-liter Cleveland V8, giving it a healthy grunt and a very un-Italian growl. It was built on a steel unibody chassis with fully independent suspension, rear disc brakes, and a level of comfort aimed squarely at the elite. Only 244 units were produced over a production run that lasted until 1985. Number 5. Born during a turbulent era for high-performance cars, the RPO-83 was Ford's quiet way of delivering race-ready hardware without drawing too much attention from regulators or insurance companies. The XA Falcon GT was already a muscle-bound machine, powered by Ford's legendary 351 Cleveland V8. But when the government cracked down on supercars in the early 70s, Ford had to cancel its full-blown Phase 4 race program. Left with a warehouse of high-performance parts, Ford engineers did what any enthusiast would. They slipped them into production cars, quietly. That's how the RPO-83 was born. Not all RPO-83 cars were identical. Each was a bit of a part-spin Frankenstein. but all were quick and subtly wicked. They looked like any other Falcon GT but had a serious punch under the hood. Ford built around 250 RPO-83 vehicles in total, with approximately 130 of them being sedans, while the rest were hardtops. Number 4. Built by Monteverie, a boutique car maker from Switzerland, the 375-4 was the four-door version of the company's high-speed GT series, and it packed both elegance and brute force in a handcrafted package. Monteverie was founded by Peter Monteverie, a former racer and dealer who believed Switzerland could build world-class Grand Tourers. The 375-4 debuted in 1971, aiming to compete with the likes of Maserati, Mercedes-Benz, and even Rolls-Royce. From the outside, it looked sleek and understated, with clean lines designed by Pietro Frua. But under the hood, pure American thunder. Powering the 375-4 was a massive 7.2-liter Chrysler V8, yes, a Mopar engine in a Swiss suit, making over 375 horsepower. That gave this luxury sedan serious muscle, with a top speed of around 150 miles per hour, which was outrageous for a full-size four-door in the early 70s. Monteverie only built fewer than 30 units of the sedan version, making it one of the rarest luxury performance cars of its era. Each car was essentially hand-assembled, tailored to the buyer's wishes and priced accordingly. Number 3. Launched in 1974, the Quattroporte 2 was a radical departure from the original V8-powered rear-wheel drive formula that had made the first-generation Quattroporte such a hit among stylish speed demons in the 60s. So what changed? In a word, Citroën. At the time, Maserati was under Citroën ownership, and the French influence was front and center in the Quattroporte 2. Instead of a growling V8, the car was powered by a 3-liter V6 from the Maserati Meroc, good for about 210 horsepower. Even more unusual, it was a front-wheel drive vehicle, based on the Citroën SM platform. Marcello Gandini of Bertone designed the sleek body, which had sharp angles and a wedge-shaped profile that screamed 1970s futurism. It looked cool, no doubt, but performance-wise, it was a step down from the brutish charm of its V8 predecessors. Plagued by the oil crisis, economic downturns, and Maserati's looming financial troubles, the Quattroporte 2 never saw full-scale production. Only 13 units were ever built. Number 2. Introduced in 1974, the Series 1 was Aston's attempt to blend the brand's performance pedigree with limousine comfort, aimed at well-heeled buyers who wanted something more exclusive than a Rolls or Mercedes. Based on a stretched version of the Aston Martin V8 platform, the Lagonda Series 1 kept the same muscular 5.3-liter V8 under the hood, delivering around 280 horsepower. It had a top speed of 149 miles per hour, impressive for a four-door saloon in the 70s. The body, styled by William Townes, was long, low, and unmistakably Aston, elegant, understated, and packed with presence. But while the car had presence, what it lacked was production. Only 7 units were ever made, making it one of the rarest Aston Martins ever built. Number 1. Built as the successor to the dominant XY Phase 3, the Phase 4 was meant to take Ford's racing program to the next level. But fate, and a bit of media panic, had other plans. In the early 70s, Australia's Big Three, Ford, Holden, and Chrysler, were locked in a horsepower war, pushing their road cars to ever more extreme levels to meet homologation rules for touring car racing. The Phase 4 was Ford's next secret weapon for Bathurst. Based on the new XA Falcon body, it featured race-bred upgrades, including a beefed-up 351 Cleveland V8, improved suspension, and lightweight parts. But just as the first 4 prototypes were completed, a media storm hit. An article dubbed these factory hot rods 160-mile-per-hour supercars being sold to teenagers, sparking public outcry and political pressure. The backlash was swift. Ford, along with Holden and Chrysler, canceled their high-performance programs almost overnight. Just like that, the Phase 4 was dead before it ever got to stretch its legs on the track. Only 4 units were ever built, 1 race car and 3 road-going prototypes, making it one of the rarest Australian muscle cars in existence.